Vanarottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tado Jayamudiraye Nashtaprayesha Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavada Sevaya Bhagavadi Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavadi Naishtigi Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopakumaraya Govindaya no Nama Nama Pangajanabhaya Nama Pangajamalini Nama Pangajanetraya Namaste Pangajangre Mukam Karodi Vachalam Pangam Langayade Giring Yatkrabatamaham Vande Sri Gurum Dinadarinam Sri Chaitanya Mishwaram Paramananda Madhavam Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Bhagavad Gita Yatharupam reading from chapter 7 Knowledge of the Absolute and today's verse verse number 15. Only one verse, although as per schedule we have two. We'll be taking only one. Right. So I'll read the verse. Namam dushkridino mudha prabhadyande naradhama maya bharda jnana asuram bhavamashridaha. Namam dushkridino mudha prabhadyande naradhama maya abharda jnana asuram bhavamashridaha. Namam dushkridino mudha Pravadyande naradhamaha Mayaya avaharda jnana asuram bhavamashridaha. Siddha Thakurani Mataji can read.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Namam Duskridino Mudha Pravadyande Naradhamaha Mayaya Bhakridajnana Asuram Bhavamashridaha. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Okay, Maji, can you read? You're mute.
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, you read the verse.
okay.
Namam. You read the verse only. Namam dushkridino mudha. You can't hear you. You have to read loudly. Should be more loud.
Namam duskridina mudha prapatyande naradhama maya bhridajnana asuram bhavamasrita.
Right. Good. Okay. Siddha Thakurani, you can read the translation.
Those miscreants who are grossly foolish, who are lowest among mankind, whose knowledge is stolen by illusion, and who partake of the atheistic nature of demons, do not surrender unto me.
Right.
Sikta Mataji is there.
Sikta Mataji is traveling, so she should not be able to read. She's just in a message also. She sent a message to me also. Can you hear but Sikta Mataji? Can you hear us? You're mute. Yes, she says she can hear. Right. Fine. Om Namo Bhagavate Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilidam yena tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthabidam yena bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadadi Swapadantigam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Udapadagamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Sam Shri Rupam Sagrajadam Saganaragunandanvidam Tam Sajivam Sadvaidam Savadudam Parijana Saidam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishagan Vedamsa He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dina Bandho Jagalpade Gopesha Gopiga Kanda Radha Kanda Namastude Tapta Kanjana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanusude Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpadrubhescha Kripa Sindhuvyeva cha Patidanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimade Bhaktivedanta Swaminidhi Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashatya Deshadarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare Namam Dushkridino Mudha Prabhadyande Naradhamam Maya Bhardajnanam Asuram Bhavamashidaham. Those miscreants who are grossly foolish, lowest among mankind, whose knowledge is stolen by illusion, and who partake of the atheistic nature of demons, do not surrender unto me. So, in the last verse 14, Krishna has very emphatically stated that only those who surrender to me can overcome my energy, my Shakti in the form of the gunas, which are binding you, binding a jivas to this material world. So Krishna in this chapter started explaining his various energies as well as his Swarupa. His Swarupa in the material world, the Swarupa in the material, not this not his form, his transcendental, not he's talking about his transcendental form in this chapter. He's talking about his spiritual or all-pervading Paramatma Swarupa. After explaining the two different energies, namely the material, which is the external energy, which is inferior, and the internal energy, which is superior. He states that both of these are coming from me only. So the question was asked last day. Both Krishna says, both is, especially in this verse says, Devi Hesha Gunama, it's divine. This energy is divine. My energy is divine. The binding you is divine. So divine means it is, why it is called divine? Because it is coming from a divine source. It has got a connection with the divine. The Maya has got a connection with divine in as much as it is coming from Krishna, and Krishna is divine, totally spiritual. And so the Maya is also, or the external energy represented by the gunas, is also as divine as the interior energy or the internal energy. So in that case, how is it that one is inferior and one is superior? That was the question raised. If both are divine and both are coming from Krishna, why we say that one is inferior and another is superior? That is because the external energy comprising of 24 elements are inert in nature. It is inert. It is lifeless, dull substance. Although it has got tremendous influencing in that what do you call the influencing power over the jivas, basically it is an inert substance. It is dull, it's lifeless. Only when this superior energy enters, then it becomes activated. That is given in this fifth verse. When Krishna says, Apare midastvanyam pragidim vidhime param jiva bhudo mahabaho yayedam dharido jagata. When this superior energy is entering into inferior energy, then this inferior energy is activated. That's why it's called inferior. The external energy is activated because its internal energy, jiva, has entered. So that means life belongs to the jiva only. Life is coming from jiva. Life is not coming from prakriti. That is established. In the 5th verse of 3rd chapter, it is mentioned that nakaschit chanabhi jadutishtadegarmat karyadehi avashak karma sarve pragadijay gunan. So that is wrongly interpreted as Mayavadis by saying that, see, this Prakriti is the reason for life is Prakriti. The reason for all activities is Prakriti only. That means activity is originating from Prakriti only. But that is wrong interpretation. We have seen this Prakriti is dull, Prakriti is inert. It cannot act on its own. Only when the superior energy enters, it becomes active. So life is actually coming from Jiva only. So when this life is Jiva, then it is not mere consciousness. So definition of Jiva becomes the living entity with the pure consciousness. That is Atma, not mere consciousness, as Advaitins will like to believe, or Advaitins they're arguing about this. It says that consciousness is from Purusha and activity is from Prakriti, which is wrong. So that is why this internal external energy is called inferior and the superior energy is this internal energy. So Krishna says, all the people, everyone in this world is under the spell of this external energy, and everybody is bound by that. And when you are bound by this external energy, you believe that everyone is in a part of that only. Everyone is bound like that. Like the example we give, say when a governor or a chief minister, if he is visiting a prison house, so this superintendent of the jail, he takes this chief minister, the governor, all around. They visit all the cells, have interaction with these prisoners, exchange nice pleasantries with these prisoners, and finally, he poses for a photograph with the prisoners. So next day, in the papers, you see the picture of the chief minister sitting with the prisoners. So natural conclusion of outside person who is not connected with this, they'll think that, okay, the chief minister is also one of the prisoners. So the people, same way, like that manner, the same way, the people who are illusioned, they think that Krishna is also one of a material product, is also in this world only, a person of this world only. They don't know that he's Param Avyayam. The 13th verse, Krishna says, Mohita Nabijanadi Mam Ebhyaha Param Avyayam. I am above this, I am supreme and inexhaustible. They don't know. So that is a reason that people should surrender to Krishna. But in this verse, Krishna says, there are 4 people, miscreants, who don't surrender to me. Kritina means one who does meritorious work. Or Kritina, another meaning of Kritina is that one who is well versed in Shastras. So Kritina means one who knows the meaning of the scriptures. And Dushkrita means one who is ignorant of scriptures, or one who has not understood the meaning of the scriptures properly. So when Krishna says, you please surrender to me, it looks very, very simple. Simply by surrendering to Krishna, you can achieve have a great achievement in the form of liberation from this material world, which you have been undergoing for eons of time. Crores and crores of births we are going through this. And just by surrendering, if Krishna says that you just surrender to me, I'll take care of you, I'll take you out of this. It's so simple. Why then people are not heeding his words? Do they think that he is simply, talking big, or he's exaggerating his own powers? Or they don't want to believe in this. They think it's a waste of time only. So Prabhupada says, those people in this group included so many philosophers, poets, artists, artisans, administrators, educational people very much in limelight, holding very responsible positions, very well-known personalities, very powerful persons, all are included in this group. Prabhupada says, actually, those who are real Kridina, one well-versed in scriptures, like saints, like Vyasamuni, Brahma, Shiva, Kapila, Kumara, Manu, these 12 Mahajans, Asida, Janada, Prahalada, Bari, then Madhvacharya, Ramanacharya, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, then our Guru Parampara. They are the real persons who really surrendered to Krishna. So they know Krishna as he is, and they understood that the only way you can get out of this material tabernacle is only by surrendering to Krishna. Not these modern people who pose as great people, but the ignorant, totally ignorant of scriptures and ignorant of Krishna. Some people think that will come, then who are miscreants will come one by one. The first one is Mudha. Mudha means one who is grossly foolish. For them, eating, mating, sleeping, and defending, the only worthwhile objects, worthwhile goals in this life. These are the only goals they have set for life. Somehow they want to enjoy with the senses. They are blissfully unaware of their spiritual life. And if somebody tells them that, okay, there is a spiritual life also, the scriptures are also there, and that will give you the real pleasure, rather than the type of happiness that you are not now enjoying. and they will laugh at you. So you are making up stories. You are living a fantasy world. There's nothing like the spiritual world. Only world here is the world that we are living. So this is all about everything, and living in this with the best of your capacity to enjoy is a real goal in life. And for that, you need money, you need so many things, and you make this money whichever way you want. Beg, borrow, steal, everything is permitted. And just enjoy life. So their leader is Charvaka Muni. Yesterday we was quoting this from Charvaka Muni. Rinam krutva gridam pebet, yavat jivet sukam jivet, basmi bhudasya dehasya, kudha punragamano bhavet. Somehow or another, borrow, beg or steal, you make life very pleasant. Rinam means debt. Gridam means ghee. So Srila Prabhupada was joking, say at least Charvaka Muni says that okay, you eat sweet meats with made of ghee and all that. He's not advocating drinks, meat and all that, liquor, and to that extent, Charvaka Muni is more civilized than others, maybe more sattvic. He's only talking about ghee only, not anything else. Is that you enjoy this life because what? Why? Basmi jivasya dehasya bhudasya dehasya. Once this body is gone, perished, when it's burned up, kudha punagamano bhaved. Where's the question of coming back? So what is coming back? We know is Atma. After leaving the old body, the Atma is taking a new one. So that is rebirth. But Charvaka Muni and his followers, they do not believe this this concept. This soul, existence of soul, they don't belong. No, there's no such thing as soul. They'll argue. So they are grossly foolish. But ultimately, they may meet with a very tragic end. Running from pillar to post, getting early in the morning, working hard for 12, 14, 16 hours, and coming back, have some intoxicant drinks, eat some meat, and enjoy with your with someone. These are the whole idea of life. So for that, make they lot of effort, and ultimately they don't really get what they want, and then they feel that their whole life is wasted, and then they wait anxiously for death with apprehension, lot of apprehension, with fear. Yes, you have seen that people dying all around. So at least he has the intelligence to know that one day he will also go. But he's fearing that day. He's very apprehensive. So this is a sad life of a person who is grossly foolish. If you invite them to a satsang, see Bhagavad Gita class is going and all that, they will not be interested. They'll say many reasons, make some many excuses, and will not come, will not join. So another class of Dushkrita is Naradhama. Second one is Naradhama, lowest of mankind. Why the lowest of mankind? Because this type of people, they have some understanding of scriptures, they have some understanding of Vedas, they have some understanding of the religious principles, But they don't believe in the existence of a creator or a supreme authority or supreme God. For them, they argue that everything has come from nature only. It's Prakriti only. Satkari division is there. They're of the opinion life has come from nature only. They don't understand. Krishna says that I am the superintendent of this nature. Maya dekshana prakriti suede charachanam. They don't believe that. They believe that nature is moving on its own. They not accept the fact that nature is like a shadow of an object, and the shadow moves along with the object only. The object is moving to one side, the shadow will be there, and the object is moving to the other side, the shadow will be that side. But they'll fail to accept that. But they supposed to be a person who have some intelligence, but they don't really go deep into scriptures because of their laziness. This is basically they are very lazy people. They have created some philosophy, and based on that philosophy, they accept the Prakriti to Supreme. There's a verse in Sanskrit which says that Alasihi Manushyana Shariresto Mahan Ripu Na Asti Udyamano Samo Bhamdu Kritvayam Navasidadi. Alasyahi Manushyanam Sharirasto Mahan Ripu. Alasya, the laziness, is very much inside our body. Sharirasta, it's inside this man's body, inside his physio psycho body. And he's Mahan Ripu, is a great enemy. The laziness is a great enemy. Nasti Udyamano Sama, but when you are very active, Udyamano Samo, Bandhu. Nasti Udyamano Samo Bandhu. Bandhu means a friend. So activity is your friend. Because now see, if you are active, you will not fall down. Active in the sense that active about understanding Krishna, active about reading philosophies, reading scriptures meticulously, then acting on these instructions. This needs a great effort. But these people are unwilling to take this effort. They are very happy in accepting this Prakriti is supreme. And they don't want to accept that behind Prakriti, this Mayinam Maheshwara is there. Mayinam to Maheshwara. And because they are, what do you call, half-baked idea of philosophy, they are called Naradhama, as much as they deny the existence of the Supreme. But these people, when they meet with some problem, some setbacks, some mishaps of the life, then immediately they call for God. They cry for God. Krishna, save me. I'm in trouble. I'm having so many problems. I cannot surmount this. Please help me. So Prabhupada says this is a natural inclination of a jiva to approach the Supreme when he's in trouble. He gives example Srimad Bhagavatam of the baby inside this womb is suffering like anything. Srimad Bhagavatam gives a very vivid description of what the kind of torture that this Bruna is undergoing in his mother's womb. And when he's suffering like anything, he can also see his past lives also. He's given opportunities to see the past lives, what he has undertaken, or the past life he has gone through. See so much suffering he had, so many lives. Every time, health problem, finance problem, so many problems, beset with so many problems. So every life is the same. Problems, problems, and problems. Then he says, okay, Krishna, when I come out of this womb, and now suffering also, and I have understood, and I have suffered so many times, so many births, I'll promise you, Krishna, that when I come out of this womb, I will worship you only and do nothing else. But once he comes out, he again becomes a victim to Maya. He bewildered by Maya again, again, and again. That is our plight. Even though we know that Maya is diverting us, Maya is creating havoc in our spiritual life, still we are not able to resist or overcome this Maya. So that is why Krishna says you have to surrender to me. And these people don't have the intelligence to do that. So the next class of Dushkrana is Maya Abharda Jnana, or those persons whose erudite knowledge have been nullified by influence of illusory material energy. They are very vastly learned people, philosophers, poets, literary giants, scientists, etc., 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 social reformers, leaders, natural leaders of men. And they pretend to be all-knowing. They pretend to know what is the problems that we have, the whole individual is facing, the nation is facing. And they feel that they have some solutions for that. They are great plan makers. And they try to come out themselves, as well as they try to help others also. But they are grossly ignorant. They are in ignorance. Kathopanishad says, avidyayam antare vartamanaha swayam dhira pandidanam manyamanaha dandrindriyamana parayandi mudha andheneva niyamana idhandaha. Avidyayam antare vartamanaha. Is they are inside this nescience or ignorance, but they think that swayam dhira pandidam manyamana, they think that they are very sober and they are very knowledgeable. They claim they are knowledgeable panditas, and like that they are misleading themselves, as well as they are misleading the people who are following them, like a blind person leading other blind people. So these Maya Abharda people, there are also scholars. They are they also write commentaries on Bhagavad Gita, but they don't accept what is given in Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita very clearly says Krishna is a father of Brahma, even Brahma. So Krishna is origin, and they don't accept that. And they are in their purport, they deliberately try to keep out Krishna and dwell on some subject or some other aspects, and try to highlight those aspects and try to ignore Krishna. But they don't understand that Krishna is everything. Krishna is Brahman, Krishna is Paramatma, and Krishna is a Supreme Personal Godhead. So Maya Abharda Jnana, they consider Krishna to be another merely human being. So they don't understand that the supreme form of Krishna, they ridicule them as Narad, Ajanadi Mamudha, Maya, Ajanadi Mamudha, Manishim Tanimashidaha. When he takes the form of Krishna takes the form of a human being, they ridicule him, not understanding that actually the human beings are fashioned after this his form. Krishna, Srila Prabhupada says very clearly in the purport, they do not know that the blessed form of human life is designed after eternal and transcendental feature of the Supreme Lord. So actually the human form which we are having is a replica of Krishna's original form. The original form of Krishna is transcendental, but our form is material. That's our difference. So these people, they are actually unauthorized interpreters of Bhagavad Gita. They are deluded entrepreneurs and did not surrender to Lord's feet of Krishna. The philosophers, the scientists, etc., etc. And the last type, the fourth one is class is Dushkrana is Asuram Bhavam Ashridaha. So they disbelieve that a supreme personality of Godhead can descend in this material world. They say the material world is matter only, and anyone who is coming to this world should invariably have material form only. Nobody in this material world is having transcendental body. But they fail to understand that this material world is also a creation of Krishna. So the creator can visit any part of his creation anytime he wants. Like an engineer in this factory, he goes to each and every nook and corner of the factory if he wants. Srila Prabhupada gives another interesting example of electricity. Electricity can be used both for producing heat as well as cold. In the hands of an expert engineer, this electricity can be used for the iron, things like iron, which gives off great heat, or air condition gives cool wind. So everything is originally from electricity only. Just like that, electricity in the expert hands of a scientist or an engineer can act both as a cold producing object and a heat producing also. Same way, Krishna, being an expert, he doesn't have any problem in having his presence in material world as well as in spiritual world. But this fact is not understood or accepted by these Mayavadis. They say that all the Rupam are material only and Krishna is having material form only. And so the real thing is Brahman only. Failing to understand Bhagavad Gita is very clearly says that Krishna is source of Brahman also, and Brahman is dependent on Krishna, not otherwise. So these people are very envious of Krishna. And because they are envious of Krishna, they do not surrender to Krishna. So basically, there are four types of miscreants. One is grossly foolish persons who are interested only in sense gratification. Second one is the lovers of mankind, Naradhama, who thinks that the material, the Prakriti is a cause for everything. and they reject a creator. The third one is deluded speculators, Maya, Bharata, Jnana, all those saints, philosophers, scientists, etc., etc. And the last one is the professed atheists who refuse to say think that Krishna has got a form. So these are the miscreants, and they do not surrender to Krishna. And the coming verses 16, 17, 18, and 19, Krishna describes those who are surrendering to him. And there are gradation between these people who are surrendered to him. That will be discussed in the next coming verses. So thank you very much. Any doubts? Any comments? Right. Thank you very much. Siddha Thakur Nimalaji can enter Nasim Kirtan.
Namaste Narasimhaya Praladaladaine Hiranyakashiporvachaha Shilaranga Nakalaye Ito Narsimha Parado Narsimha Yedo Yami Tado Narsimha Bahe Narsimho Hridaye Narsimho Narasimhamadim Charanam Prabhadi Tavakara Kamalavare Nagham Adbhuta Sringam Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanubringam Keshavadhrita Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Jayo Narsimha Dev Jayo Narsimha Dev Jayo Narsimha Dev Jayo Narsimha Dev Jayo Narahari Jayo Narahari Jayo Narahari Jayo Narahari Jayo Lakshmi Narasimha Jayo Lakshmi Narasimha Narasimha Jai Lakshmi Narasimha
Jayo
Prahlad
Prahlad, Jayo Prahlad, Jayo Prahlad, Jayo Prahlad.
Jayo Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada.
Shuddha Bhakti Vignashagari Shina Sandev Bhagwan ki
Jai.
Vaishnav Bhakti Shesh Pada Maharaj ki
Jai.
Brahmiram Mahavishnu Julandam Sarvadom Narasimham Vishwabhadram Mrityum Namamiham Sri Narasimha Jai Narasimha Jai Jai Sri Narasimha Praladesha Jai Padma Navringa Om Namo Bhagavate Tubhyam Purushaya Mahadev
Hare Buddha Singhaya Brahmani Paramatmani
Shri Narasimha Bhagwan ki
Jai.
Vaishnav Shesh Pada Maharaj ki
Jai.
Vancha Kalpadru Sikravasindhu Vedanam Pavane Vaishnavi.
Vaishnavi